circumstances. But this aspect of your statement has been taken by others or censored for so long that I feel I should read it to you and ask you what if you want, what were your intentions behind it, or what do you mean from it, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
It's only part of your, as I say, but you said, it just sickens me to the core that someone can come to this country, be fully supported in terms of social housing, social welfare and free medical care for over 10 years, never hold down a legitimate job and never once contribute to society in any way, shape or form, and can commit such a horrendous, evil act of incomprehensible violence on such a beautiful, loving and talented person who, in fact, worked for the state, educating the next generation and represented everything that is good about Irish society. I feel this country is no longer the country that Ashling and I grew up in, and has officially lost its innocence when a crime of this magnitude can be perpetrated in broad daylight. This country needs to wake up. This time things have got to change. We have to once and for all start pushing the safety of not only Irish people, but everybody in this country who works hard, pays taxes, raises families and overall contributes to society first. I could go on. Do you want me to go on, or
whatever you feel like you have to? Yeah.
Well, that's an aspect of it.
Yeah.
What did you mean when you said this is no longer the country that Ashling and I grew up in, for example, or what was the sentiment behind you saying those words?
It's a genuine feeling, I suppose, and it's a genuine realisation. And I think that's what I said in my statement, when something of this magnitude can be perpetrated in broad daylight, just a random act of senseless taking of an innocent life, and the gravity of it also, and it just doesn't feel like it anymore, and the aftermath, and I feel ever since everything happened in January 2022, things have just gotten so much worse. And it's not what I feel. I know, I know it has. And I've looked into it, and it's not. It was a feeling initially, but it's when you look into it and dig into it, it's a realisation. So
there will be people that will say sentiments of what you said there were far right, and then there are people who may be considered far right who took your statement and put it out on social media and said effectively, like, look, he's one of us, he's speaking what we're saying, and they used that to drive their own agenda. So in one sense you had people who said we can't report this because it's a rally call to the far right and people who are anti-immigrant, and then you had people who were maybe quite far right, and I don't know if they share your sentiment, who literally did take it and exaggerate it and completely misinterpret it.
Yeah.
What was that like to see it either cherry-picked or censored by, depending on whoever wanted to use it?
Yeah, well, to be honest, and it is what it is, and I have no problem staying right here right now. I stand over that statement even now today, more so than ever before.
Okay.
Like, ever before. I really do. And I don't think that I said there, what you just read out, when I read out back in November 2023, I don't think there's a word of that is incitement to hatred or appealing to any of this far-right stuff that is, everyone likes to call everyone nowadays that has an opposing opinion or any concerns about safety of the country and all this sort of stuff. This is what's going on in the media. This is what frustrates me, and having to sit through that for the last 3.5 years and not being able to even say anything or comment or give my 2 cents into what I actually meant, and having both sides run runaway trains about what they think I meant and what this side think I meant. It's just, the media needs to stop tarnishing people and labelling people with this far right rhetoric and far right this, far right that. There are people that have legitimate concerns, and they're great people. They're not far right people at all. What is far right? This is asking the door. None of them can define what far right is. Only the people that were labeling people far right. This is what's going on, and it needs to stop. We need to stop labeling concerned citizens of this state who are working hard and contributing to society, but they don't get a say. I don't think that's controversial at all. And going back then to my statement, it meant, and why I stand by it more so than ever before, is I think it's a legitimate question. And I think at the time it was a question on the mind of many people, and even now more so than ever. It's a very basic question. Why was someone here who's not native to the country? I have no problem saying that. He was here for 10 years. I'm sure he got every opportunity to work and contribute and give back to society, and he just chose not to, and he was just allowed to reside here, I suppose, off the state for as long as he did. I don't know how, but and then from what I was getting at, this is how he repaid us as a country, to take one of our exemplary people that is quite the opposite of what he was. That's what I was getting.
Well, I wanted to, I don't know if it's there, I think it is, but part of your statement literally said that you know, Ashling was a school teacher, literally worked for the state, was the
Educating the next generation.
polar opposite
Yeah.
of Josef Puska.
Yeah.
And I took that to mean, well, exactly that. That's what you were saying. Here's somebody who came here in 2013, never contributed to society, didn't learn how to speak English, scrounged off the state. And then you have someone who is the exact polar opposite, had everything to contribute to society, and her life was just cut short by this monster. That's what you were saying, effectively.
Effectively, yes.